Hi, my name is Kim Dahlman. I am an Ivy Tech nursing student, and I'm going to explain how someone can control their blood pressure. I find the easiest way to control your blood pressure is if you can do it without any medications, if you are at that point. So the first thing I would suggest is, number one, you need to stop smoking. Stop smoking can definitely lower your blood pressure within just a few days, as well as just eating a healthy, low sodium diet. There is something what's called the DASH diet plan, which kind of stands for a dietary approach to stop hypertension. It reduces the sodium in your diet by eating a variety of foods rich in nutrients to help lower the blood pressure, such as potassium, calcium, and magnesium. By following the DASH diet, you can sometimes reduce your blood pressure by just a few points in just over 2 weeks. According to the DASH diet, a standard is to consume only up to 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day. And by looking at the packages and nutritional values, as you can tell, that doesn't go very far. So you need to be very cautious in what you eat, especially if you're pre-hypertensive. If you are already pre-hypertensive or already have hypertension, some people need to follow the lower sodium version of the DASH diet, which would put their consumption level only up to 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day. So that's even smaller. So you need to really make sure you're not getting those preserved type of foods and eat more healthier, natural foods if you can. Always want to make sure that trying to maintain a healthy weight balance by following hopefully a BMI. A lot of times you can look online, or when you see your doctor, they can give you an idea of what range you should be in. So this is just a little chart that you can kind of follow, or you can get online if you want to look that up. One of the bigger issues too is stress. So just reducing your stress, getting that down can actually lower your blood pressure points quite a bit, especially that bottom number, because that's that bottom number that helps us see how well your heart is relaxing. So try to just kind of ease out a little bit, try to reduce your stress, and that will help. As well as like your BMI, like I said, managing your weight, just regular exercise, even if you're not overweight, just walking every day or doing something at least a few times a week at least, just to get your heart going, get the cardio up just a little bit. That kind of helps your heart just a little bit more, so it keeps that blood pressure down. I'd already said try to limit the caffeine. Well, also you want to try to limit alcohol. Too much alcohol can kind of raise your blood pressure by several points, and by lowering that, it can definitely make your level go down a little bit. So the first thing that you want to do is, if you're concerned about your blood pressure, is one, you might want to schedule a wellness screen. If you're not sure, if you haven't seen a doctor in a while, you might want to see, what your blood pressure looks like. So you want to schedule a doctor's appointment, get a wellness screen, a physical, just an overall wellness, and see how you're doing. When you go to the doctor, they are going to use one of these lovely machines, or manually, and they are going to check your blood pressure. So, and that will tell us how low or high your blood pressure is. At the doctor's office, that's typically when people usually only get it checked. If you already are hypertensive or pre-hypertensive, I would always recommend trying to get an at-home blood pressure cuff if you can. You always want to get one that goes on your arm. We prefer you not to have the wrist ones. They're not as accurate. So always one that goes on your arm. Whenever you're checking it at home, you want your arm at heart level. So if you're sitting at a table, you can put a pillow underneath, kind of raise your arm up a little bit, relax it. Typically, you want to always use your left arm if you can, unless you've had some type of lymph nodes removed on this side, or mastectomy, or the doctor has told you otherwise not to use this side. Or even if you happen to go to the doctor and they say, hey, your blood pressure is higher on your right side, then you want to switch over to your right side. We always want to know the side that's the highest. So that's another way to really like control your blood pressure, is just to keep an eye on it, know what numbers you have, what numbers you are at. That way when you are doing these dietary changes and lifestyle changes, you can kind of see where you're at and where it's going to. If you are someone that is hypertensive, or the provider feels like that you need to be on some type of medication, then number one, you want to make sure you take it. There are all different kinds of medications out on the market. Typically, a provider might start with just a basic water pill, just to kind of see if it'll go down a little bit. You always have to remember with those, take them in the morning versus the evening, since you'll be using the restroom a lot. It'll make you pee a lot. Also, just make sure you're drinking plenty of water. We don't want to deplete any of your potassium or other vitamins. So that's kind of our first line treatment. If the dietary changes and all that doesn't help, then we'll go to a water pill. After that, they may change to something else or in addition to. So those are just some ways to kind of control your blood pressure. And I just also wanted to add that there are certain ethnicities that do have a higher prevalence of high blood pressure, such as African Americans. So it's always good to get checked out no matter what, because some people may not have any symptoms of high blood pressure. You may not get any dizziness or vision changes or headaches or anything like that. So I always just want to recommend, if you have any questions or concerns, or you're not even sure what your numbers are, it's never a bad thing to schedule a physical and see your doctor. And with that being said, you always want to make sure when you go to the doctor, or ask them what they want your normal to be. I mean, ideally they say they want the normal 120/80. I think even now they're saying pre-hypertensive is like 130 on the top. So ask your doctor or provider what your normal should be, or where they want you to be. So that being said, hopefully this video helped you out, and good luck, and hopefully you know how to control your blood pressure. Thank you.